Hello everybody again, hope you're doing well. This video is about continuing with Ezekiel, number 28, 9, and 30. Again, how many did I say we had? Almost 50, 48. So we're over halfway there in Ezekiel. The next one, I believe, is Jeremiah. Oh, the Lamentations, which is written by Jeremiah, then Jeremiah itself, which is over 50. So continuing with Ezekiel. Again, these are all just communications and visions that Ezekiel receives. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, Ezekiel, say to the ruler of Tyre, or Tyre, this is what the sovereign Lord says. In the pride of your heart, you say, I am a god. I sit on the throne of a god in the heart of the seas. So obviously Tyre or Tyre back then was very away from God and very vain people, city. So he knocked them down. And he will do that to people on an individual level, not just in a country level. What's happening with the US right now, so many other countries. But you are a mere mortal, not a god. Though you think you are as wise as a god, many people and nations do. Are you wiser than Daniel? Is no secret hidden from you? By your wisdom and understanding, you have gained wealth for yourself, and amassed gold and silver in your treasuries. So by your own wisdom in things, countries, and individuals, by your own great skill in trading, you have increased your wealth. And because of your wealth, your heart has grown proud. People forget, though, who gave them the intelligence, the brain, and the drive, the understanding of things, to pursue those things. That he gave that to them to serve him. And so most people do not. Most countries do not become vain. It's all about them. And who is that? The devil. And references those wealthy who do trade like on stock market, and banking, loaning money for profit is an anathema, contradiction of God. It's a sin, bad sin. So bankers, banks, bad news. Those super wealthy, and I don't care what they're doing, philanthropically, philanthropically, same time they're getting richer and richer. Please, I'm not taking it with them. Therefore, since their heart has grown proud, was pride, vanity, the devil. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: because you think you are wise as a god, I am going to bring foreigners against you, the most ruthless of nations. They will draw their swords against your beauty and wisdom and pierce your shining splendor. They will bring you down to the pit, and you will die a violent death in the heart of the seas. Will you then say, I am a god, in the presence of those who kill you? You will be but a mortal, not a god, in the hands of those who slay you. You will die the death of the uncircumcised at the hands of the foreigners. Nobody's invincible, no nation, no kingdom, no people, no person. Humility and meekness, helping others. I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. And again, the word of the Lord came to me, to Ezekiel, Son of man, take up a lament concerning the king of Tyre, and say to him, this is what the sovereign Lord says. You were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you, cornelian, chrysolite, and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. They allowed them to build themselves up, provided everything for him, and glorified them. To avoid referencing Adam and Eve as well here. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created, till wickedness was found in you. You turned to the devil. You're tricked. He's very subtle in his manipulations, his ministrations of the mind. He knows what makes you tick. He knows what's inside, what sparks your desires in this world. You have to be on guard. Through your widespread trade, you were filled with violence, and your sin became more and more gluttonous as far as money, power, etc. goes. Again, this is on a nation level, on a personal level. To this day, continuing. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God, and I expelled you, guardian cherub, from among the fiery stones. Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. So I threw you to the earth. I made a spectacle of you before kings. Again, referencing Adam and Eve. By your many sins and dishonest trade, you have desecrated your sanctuaries. So I made a fire come out from you, and it consumed you. And I reduced you to ashes on the ground in the sight of all who were watching. Great flood. All the nations who knew you are appalled at you. You have come to a horrible end and will be no more. This is what's coming. What's beginning has begun, and what's coming. The nations and people on an individual basis. It's going on now. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set your face against Sidon. Prophesy against her and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. It's just like Revelations. This church, this church, this church, or this nation, this nation, this nation, this kingdom. No one's is inescapable. I am against you, Sidon, and among you I will display my glory. You will know that I am the Lord when I inflict punishment on you, and within you am proved to be holy. You will know that I am the Lord when I inflict punishment on you, and I am within you and proved to be holy. I will send a plague upon you and make blood flow in your streets. The slain will fall within you, the sword against you on every side. Then you will know that I am the Lord. No longer will the people of Israel have malicious neighbors who are painful briars and sharp thorns. Then they will know that I am the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says: when I gather the people of Israel from the nations where they have been scattered, I will be proved holy through them in the sight of the nations. Then they will live in their own land, which I gave to my servant Jacob. They will live there in safety and will build houses and plant vineyards. They will live in safety when I inflict punishment on all their neighbors who malign them. Then they will know that I am the Lord their God. So he's going to save his people. He's saving his people, his true believers, true servants. He's not punishing just those who wronged, harmed his servants, his people, his believers, those who stood by while others did, rooting for their downfall, watching and doing nothing. Complacency. He's going to pay for that, as people are going to pay for that as well. Ask yourself, when was I complacent? When did I stand by while somebody else was being made fun of? Somebody else was being attacked? That's a test. That's a test. Just like put somebody there for you to help on the street corner or wherever. These are all tests. We've all failed at them. And it's never too late to start not failing at them. Asking for discernment, when you ask for discernment of his word, of him, this is part of that. He's saying, here, I'm revealing yourself to me, myself to you. How do you react to it? You never know how he's going to show himself to you. Extends his hand to you. Chapter 29. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, on the 12th day, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, set your face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and prophecy against him and against all Egypt. Speak to him and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Now a message to Egypt. I am against you, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, you great monster, lying among your streams. You say, the Nile belongs to me, I made it for myself. No, it's God's. But I will put hooks in your jaws, make the fish of your streams stick to your scales. I will pull you out from among your streams, with all the fish sticking to your scales. I will leave you in the desert, you and all the fish of your streams. You will fall on the open field, not be gathered or picked up. I will give you as food to the beasts of the earth and the birds of the sky. Then all who live in Egypt will know that I am the Lord. You know, all these great nations. Where are they now? What are they now? People continue to build themselves up. He knocks them down. Nations continue to build themselves up. They fall and crumble. It's just like Tower of Babel, where people built themselves this tower, higher, higher, because they wanted to be up by God and be like God. He smacked that down and dispersed them around the world, created all the different languages. They couldn't understand each other. So, do not exalt yourself. You have been a staff of reed for the people of Israel. When they grasped you with their hands, you splintered and you tore open their shoulders. When they leaned on you, you broke and their backs were wrenched. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: I will bring a sword against you and kill both man and beast. Egypt will become a desolate wasteland. Then they will know that I am the Lord. And it did. Because you said the Nile is mine, I made it. Therefore, I am against you and against your streams. I will make the land of Egypt a ruin and a desolate waste from Migdol to Aswan, as far as the border of Cush. The foot of neither man nor beast will pass through it. No one will live there for 40 years. I will make the land of Egypt desolate among devastated lands, and their cities will lie desolate 40 years among ruined cities. And I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. Bring all nations down. All are going to fall one by one. Yet this is what the sovereign Lord says: at the end of 40 years, I will gather the Egyptians from the nations where they were scattered. I will bring them back from captivity and return them to Upper Egypt, the land of their ancestry. There they will be a lowly kingdom. It will be the lowliest of kingdoms. It will never again exalt itself above the other nations. And it hasn't. I will make it so weak that it will never again rule over the nations. Egypt will no longer be a source of confidence for the people of Israel, but will be a reminder of their sin in turning to her for help. Then they will know that I am the sovereign Lord. In the 27th year, in the first month, on the first day, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, drove his army in a hard campaign against Tyre. Every head was rubbed bare and every shoulder made raw, yet he and his army got no reward from the campaign he led against Tyre. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: I am going to give Egypt to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he will carry off its wealth. He will loot and plunder the land as pay for his army. I have given him Egypt as a reward for his efforts, because he and his army did it for me, declares the sovereign Lord. So the Lord will use our enemies against us sometimes too, or allow the devil to do it, allow things to happen. We turn from him, continue to rebuke him and, and discard him and set him aside and cast him from our life. And then things going bad, we wonder why. When things seem to be going good on the outside, deep down inside there's an empty, deep, empty pit of darkness and unhappiness. I see it all the time. On that day I will make a horn grow for the Israelites, and I will open your mouth among them. Then they will know that I am the Lord. Chapter 30. The word of the Lord came to me: Son of man, prophecy. Son of man, again, Ezekiel. Prophecy and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. So these messages I get are no different, just a different style and form than what's going on right here in Ezekiel. Message after the other to Ezekiel from God, just like mine are. It technically makes me a prophet. A prophet is anybody who receives spiritual communication. Not just prophets like this, prophecies about predicts the future, tells about the future. Those kind of prophets don't exist now. You still get communication from God, which I share all these messages. 1,325 messages I've got, hidden messages, hundreds of hidden messages. These are all prophecies. God uses me as a prophet that way. I don't refer to myself as a prophet. I don't call myself a prophet. I'm just a simple servant. I've share what I'm given, the words and discernment as instructed. I'm just a conduit, and that's what we're supposed to be, conduits for whatever grace he needs to use us for. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man, prophecy, and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Wail, wail, W-A-I-L, and say, alas for that day. For the day is near, the day of the Lord is near, a day of clouds, a time of doom for the nations. Yes, what's going on? A sword will come against Egypt, the anguish will come from Mount Cush. When the slain fall in Egypt are about to be carried away and the foundations torn down. Now, this is referencing specific things going on at that time, but it's also symbolic of what's going on and will go on present time. Cush and Libya, Lydia and all Arabia, the people of the covenant land will fall by the sword along with Egypt. This is what the Lord says. The allies of Egypt will fall, and their proud strength will fail. From Migdol to Aswan, they will fall by the sword within her, declares the sovereign Lord. They will be desolate among desolate lands, and their cities will lie among ruined cities. So Egypt long ago, they do lie among ruined cities. Then they will know that I am the Lord when I set fire to Egypt, and all her helpers are crushed. On that day, messengers will go out from me in ships to frighten Cush out of her complacency. Anguish will take hold of them on the day of Egypt's doom, for it is sure to come. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I will put an end to the hordes of Egypt by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. He and his army and the most ruthless of nations were brought in to destroy the land. They will draw their swords against Egypt and fill the land with the slain. I will dry up the waters of the Nile and sell the land to an evil nation. By the hand of foreigners, I will lay waste the land and everything in it. We're talking about any country right now. I, the Lord, have spoken. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I will destroy the idols, put an end to the images in Memphis. He hates idolatry. He's going to destroy it all. No longer will there be a prince in Egypt, and I will spread fear throughout the land. I will lay waste up Egypt, set fire to Zoan, and inflict punishment on Thebes. I will pour out my wrath on Pelusium, the stronghold of Egypt, and wipe out the hordes of Thebes. I will set fire to Egypt, Pelusium will writhe in agony. Thebes will be taken by storm. Memphis will be in constant distress. The young men of Heliopolis and Bubastis will fall by the sword, and the cities themselves will go into captivity. They talk about all destroying Egypt, not specifically Egypt today, just different places, different countries, all nations of the world. In the 11th year, in the first month, on the 7th day, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. It has not been bound up to be healed, to put in a splint so that it may become strong enough to hold a sword. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against Pharaoh, king of Egypt. I will break both his arms, the good arm as well as the broken one, and make the sword fall from his hand. Again, it's all symbolic, not the actual arm being broken, but different sections or parts of Egypt in nations of the world. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I'm against Pharaoh, king of Egypt. I will break both his arms, the good arm as well as the broken one, and make the sword fall from his hand. I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon and put my sword in his hand, and I will break the arms of Pharaoh. He will groan before him like a mortally wounded man. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, but the arms of Pharaoh will fall limp. Then you will know that I am the Lord when I put my sword into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he brandishes it against Egypt. I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. Then they will know that I am the Lord. Which countries is he going to do that with? He's going to do away with all countries, all nations. So there'll be no borders. Everybody will be running rampant, calling out and crying out for God. It's going to get worse. There will come in stages. Revelation is stages over however long God wants it to be. Again, time and space don't exist with God. So it could be for centuries, 1,000 years. It's nothing to God. So it could be very short, but it is going to be in stages. So in that takes us to chapter 31, which we'll pick up next time. So again, all these relate to our history and to today and what's to come. these things to various prophets at that time, various messengers, servants of God at that time. It's like me and many others are around the world. True servants. Not all those up on a stage that you gotta pay to listen to, pay to see. Anything from God is free, and as true servants are not seeking money, fame, fortune, power, control, sharing what they're given, humbly, meekly, freely. So use that to determine who you should be paying attention to. And again, always the best way is to seek Him directly. But people don't. They want to hear that physical voice, see that physical person with the physical voice for them to believe it. That's not faith. That's not faith. So stay safe. Peace of Christ. God bless.